And away we go then. It's a match day 3 in the Betway Premiership. Polokwane City in orange. Get us underway. It's Sekhukhune United in the green strip, attacking the goals to the right of your picture. So as I was saying, Brand Mata, against Kaizer Chiefs, we saw a rather different Sekhukhune United to the one that we had seen in the 2 games at the start of the season. A team that was very attacking when we saw them feature in that thriller, 5-goal thriller against, or a 7-goal thriller against Amazulu in the cup. But then they looked subdued and very conservative against Chiefs.
You're absolutely right. They need to show up this afternoon. They need to be the best version of themselves. And you're right, against Kaizer Chiefs, not their best performance, no sense of agency. They didn't control the situations in certain moments, and they're hoping to redeem themselves this afternoon. Polokwane City, of course, they have expectations themselves. They've been doing well under a new coach, Temoloto. They'll also want to become the best version of themselves. We're looking at Ramala, very influential on the side of Sekhukhune. And you're looking at key players as well, the likes of Mapangule. You're looking at the likes of Givmo Kupe. Looking forward to this one. You're right,
so there's a chance here early on for Polokwane City. Shot from range, but couldn't keep that one down. Showing intent, as I said, this is a team that have been scoring goals. Polokwane City scored 3 in their last outing there against Stellenbosch, a match that they really will feel they should have won. We got 2 against Mamelodi Sundowns. And of course, they also got another 2 goals in the match against Richards Bay away from home. Very encouraging stuff for a starter for Willie Moloto. But yeah, they were made to pay a little bit of school fees against Mamelodi Sundowns. A game where they looked like they might come away with something as they pulled back, they drew themselves, twice equalized to get to 2-2, but then conceded very late on in the game to lose that one. In fact, they conceded late in extra time to lose by 3-2. So that was a somewhat humbling experience, but no shame in losing to Mamelodi Sundowns. And Nangwenya there spared a thought for him. He came in with about half an hour left of that game against Sundowns and had made a couple of great saves, but was little he could do about a quality strike from Cassius Mailula that beat him late on. Here it is, early catching practice for a man who's making his Betway Premiership debut, by the way. He's never featured in the Betway Premiership. So a bigger occasion for him. And when he made his first appearance, I mean, it was under very difficult circumstances. And it's got to be said, he really showed great character. As I said, there was not much he could have done about the goal that he eventually conceded. That proved to be the match winner. There's another debutant as well in the side of Polokwane City. In the midfield, on the left-hand side of that midfield, Vuyo Kopamotsi, who is from Mangaung United. He's another who was at that famous Virginia Sports Academy. So Richard, let's we have a look at Telezi, who was dropped after conceding heavily in his first 2 matches. But here he is right back, so it looks like Coach Willie Moloto will be prepared, the coach Kaze will be happy to rotate them and keep the competition healthy.
You're right, that's what coaches do, to try and boost the confidence of the players, to create their competitive spirits. And it's good to have him back. Perfect time for him to prove himself and command as the last line of defense.
This surface at the I mean, this Sekhukhune Stadium pitch is a compact one. It's one of the smaller pitches, I would say, around the country. But it's also not the best surface. It's a very difficult surface to play on, as Mapangule was tumbling into the bench there. It's going to be an interesting battle between these two hard men of the game. Rodney Mapangule is involved in that ill-tempered game against oops, slip sliding away.
It's not something that's so serious, but you're right, that battle in that midfield, center midfield, is going to be interesting to watch. Two players who are real grafters in that midfield.
Was the game against against Mamelodi Sundowns at Polokwane City. It was a game where there were some really bad challenges. One of them actually very costly, because Tebo Mokoena is now out with an injury. Missed this afternoon's clash, Mamelodi Sundowns against the Kaizer Chiefs. And as a direct result of the injury he picked up in that game. And an injury in which he sustained, there wasn't even a free kick, let alone a caution for the challenge that caused the damage. As this one, disappointing delivery, goes out of play from Giovanni Philander, who scored his first goal in the colors of Polokwane City in that draw against Stellies. In fact, that was his first goal in the Premiership. As Ngwenya again collects. Mujela and his pace, will be looking to have that, use that as an outlet with Sekhukhune, as Philander is dispossessed by Mashinwane. So that is Tovu, but that's a come to Mujela! Oh, what a beautiful ball! And what a beautiful finish! And it's Mokoena, in fact, that Mujela! Gets his first in the Betway Premiership for the season, his second of the season in all competitions, and what a slick move that was. Beautiful pass to release him, and an excellent finish. And it's a home side that draw first blood in the Limpopo derby. Sekhukhune United, go ahead.
It takes class sometimes to showcase what you can do. You mentioned the pass, clinical pass, a piercing one for that matchup. Decisive in terms of the control, under pressure, still gets it right. Clinical, Kimabo Zana, Topo for that matter. It's a good start. That's how you punish the opponents when they're not so organized. Intercepted from the midfield.
Absolutely brilliant goal from Sekhukhune United, ruthless, and they are up and running. Sekhukhune making the perfect start to this derby, throwing down the gauntlet to Polokwane City. Now, how do Polokwane City respond? Took just under 9 minutes for that opener.
The beauty of playing in a very compact field, it allows you to be switched on all the time, because any mistake could be costly. That's what you've seen.
On the overlap, then looking to get across in Tepo Mashinwane. That's what he does. Does join the attack. Likes to get forward. He's a tall man for a fullback. It is very effective getting forward and equally efficient in defense, which is his primary duty. Corner, more pressure now to be applied here on Polokwane City. Have to regroup. And it comes and attacking it on the near post there, but they've defended that well this time, have Polokwane City.
time to regroup, gain possession, keep it longer, rotate it, rekindle that belief, that spirit that says we can do it. Talking about Polokwane City, got to try and get their rhythm right. They were caught early.
Give more Cooper laid on that fabulous pass for Mokoena to score. At the other end, they've got some defending to do. Sekhukhune, yeah! Oh, that got very lucky there. That was very nearly foul for Polokwane. In fact, it was there at his feet. He just couldn't get sort out his feet and get a shot away.
For me, that's a poke kind of move.
Well, yeah.
You don't need to have second touch in that kind of area. That's in the box. That's in the 16. Should have done better. Let's watch this. Watch this. You don't need other.
You wanted too much.
You wanted too much.
Yeah.
You are in the 16 area. How many touches do you need? It's a toe poke there.
Absolutely. Dilly-dallying on the ball there. Tidimalo Polokwane, who's already up and running for the season. Polokwane, one goal in the Betway Premiership, but he's also got amongst the goals. Polokwane in the MTN 8. He's scored in against Mamelodi Sundowns as the flag is up against Zaire. Yes, Tidimalo Polokwane. Player who was playing in the ABC Motsepe League last season. And look at him now. Now, here is Mokoena again, looking to cut inside. Lays off the pass. A bit heavy there, that one from Mochela. Donalo Mochela scored 3 goals for Sekhukhune last season after making the move halfway through the campaign from Steadies. Is one of the new recruits of Polokwane City for this season, Malebo Mudise, formerly of Chippa United. He and Giovanni Philander made the move, the long trek up north from the Eastern Cape. And well, I must say they're settling in very well, because Giovanni Philander hasn't taken long to open his account, scored in only his second appearance in the Betway Premiership for Polokwane City. Now, looks like he's taken a smack to the side of the head here. What happens? Oh, there's an elbow there by Keza.
Welcome to the big stage. It's gonna happen pretty frequently. I've made it bad, but it's part of the game. Talented player, Philander, enjoys taking players on.
There's Montosi tangling with Mochela. Gets the free kick. Modise lining it up. Will float something in off that left peg of his. Goes very deep there, and they rise well to Sekhukhune United defenders. As this one is guided back all the way to Ayanda Ngwenya. It's not to be a clean sheet for him in his second appearance or his first appearance in his debut match in the Betway Premiership. Ayanda Ngwenya. Side flag up from far side official, Mr. Sergio Alden. Polokwane just going a little too early. Polokwane City, who Sekhukhune come into this game. We're in 4th position, but this, if things were to stay this way and they were to go on and claim the 3 points, they would move into 3rd spot. Started last season very well at Sekhukhune, when they undefeated in their first 8 matches. In fact, that run was brought to a halt by Polokwane City and lost 1-0 to Polokwane City.
It's been a tough fixture for them. Like I said earlier on, both teams, of course, wanting to be best version of themselves. Talk about Sekhukhune and the run that they've had. Talk about Polokwane City.
Touch on there, good for Philander, but well read, and then they cut out. Here's Mukwena, who's looking very lively early on here. And this will be shepherded behind for a goal kick. This man is looking up for it. In fact, he's had a very bright start to the season.
Skill, pace on the right-hand side. That's the man you're talking about, Mukwena. It's always good to score early, but the challenge, of course, is to defend your lead. It's also in the how part, the details of how you defend. If you sit too deep, you're inviting trouble. I'll tell you, the best coaches is they make sure that you retain the ball in the right areas.
Polokwane City, who were top of the table after 2 matches, from a win and a draw. They went above Kaizer Chiefs until Chiefs notched up that win against Sekhukhune in midweek.
The Kasi banter, they always say, if you find yourself number 1 or leading early stages of the league, please take a picture of that.
Well, if you're a side like Polokwane City, yes, because we know that the likelihood of being there come the end of the season is not particularly high. Very vocal crowd in attendance here at the Sekhukhune Stadium. Just in the main grandstand here. They're going to need to be in full voice to keep warm, as there's now a slight breeze that's blowing, and as the temperatures have dropped very rapidly as the sun sets. Great turn here, twisting and turning one way. Ramala looking to bring it onto that left boot and unleash a rocket. So what he can do in that crack of a goal that he scored in that MTN 8 quarterfinal against Amazulu. Sekhukhune, of course, next face Orlando Pirates in the semi-finals. The holders, Orlando Pirates, chasing a 5th successive, unprecedented 5th. I was just talking about him, and look at that, another exquisite finish, and Sekhukhune are threatening to run riot here. What a ball again, and well, it's turning out to be a real baptism of fire for the debutant in goal, Cedric Kaze, poker-faced, Ramala, Mpo, Mwanamelo, Ellis, Ramala. Check this out.
Check this out. You can say that again. Decisive. The press on the left-hand side. Pinpoint the decision and the technique. Swift and clinical.
The defense left a lot to be desired there. Very poor. Ramala sneaking in and challenged and putting it past a helpless Ngwenya. who really was left exposed now. Actually, there's nothing Ngwenya could have done about either one of the goals that he has conceded. Sekhukhune United double their lead. This is not a game that has produced many goals in the first half. In fact, this is the most goals we've had in this fixture in the first half of a game.
I mentioned earlier on to say both teams want to become the best version of themselves. We had the opportunity to do a Sekhukhune game. Of course, they had to play at some point Amakosi, and they are on fire. Real fire here. Good start to this game, in control of the situation, clinical in their finishing. We're looking forward to the response from Polokwane City.
They've been punished for some indifferent defending here. Can they respond and pull one back? They need one. They'll want to get something before the break, as otherwise this game could run away from them. Now, what's that? A free kick goes against Polokwane City. Another way that we have had goals, 2 goals scored in the first 20 minutes. The earliest goal in this fixture before tonight was in the 32nd minute, which came in Polokwane City's win last season, scored by a man who now runs out in Sekhukhune colours, that is Mukibelo Ramabu. This is a fixture that has produced 5 goals. Or rather, that is 5 goals in the 6 previous matches between these two sides. 4 of them have come in the first half. Now, Shilwani
in control of the situation. They're leading 2-0. What do they have to do? Retain the ball in the right areas, pounce again, the right moments. So far, so good. What's it?
Ramala. Well, what's the referee?
He's trying to explain something to Chapila, and I'm not too sure what he's trying to say to him. He's not happy, the young man.
We're hearing that we're going to have a double sub. Wow.
That early in the game.
Yeah, it's broken, so you have to fix it. I guess is the thinking here from William Lotto. He has to put out the fire before the house burns down. So he's going to make a double change. We saw Cedric Kaiser show some ruthlessness as well against the Kaiser Chiefs, where he put the player in as a sub. That was Nati Vandala, and then pulled him off again. After less than 10 minutes, I think he'd been on the field. So let's first look at this free kick. And what did the keeper do there? The keepers carried the ball into touch, and they carried it behind for corner. Oh, but it was an awkward bounce there in his defense. But that's an example of this very uneven surface here at the Sekhukhune Stadium. It's not a very good surface. You saw how that ball popped up at him. It's really just got big on him. Now, Tidimano Polokwane and a crunching challenge. Oh, and an awkward fall here. Oh, it could be in trouble here.
I just hope it's got nothing to do with the shoulder. So just saying touching onto the shoulder.
It's going to bring on a central midfielder and a fullback. Kungwe is one of those. It's been introduced there. It's a triple change, is it? No, it's a double change. Banele Mbune will slot into the central midfield area. Nguni started the game against started the game out. That's the youngster there, the debutant. Oh, his debut ends rather unceremoniously. There's young Kumape, Fuyo Kumape, making his PSL debut, but I think it's not so much what he did wrong, but what needs to be fixed. Why they're bringing him on, Brian Mate. So, I mean, he wasn't really that involved in the game, as we see how the injury happened. He goes in, a solid chalical, and lands awkwardly. Awkwardly there. Does give more Coupe.
I think he just, like you're right. It's more like not the tackle, but it's how he landed.
It was a clean tackle, got the ball.
Very clean.
So, and he's gonna stay. This doesn't look good. He stayed down for a long time here. Give more Coupe. He's been down for a long time. Take a look at as he's getting treatment. Let's show you the goals. Brian Mate could talk us through these two goals. How about this one, a pass?
They were consistent. Swift passing game, good decision making. It takes 3 touches. It's the pass, it's the control, it's the finishing. And that's what you need. It became a game of seconds because once they won possession, it was quick thinking, swift, clinical. You look at the second goal as well. Decisive in terms of how they orchestrated that one as well.
Poor marking.
Poor marking.
Terrible marking from Polokwane City. And they were exposed and punished and ruthlessly so. Oh, this is bad news. I can tell you that Coupe is now being stretched out. He's going to the dressing room. I don't think he will be returning. We'll get an update. That might be a dislocated shoulder. But that's rather unfortunate. They already have suffered a bad injury loss, Sekhukhune, with Vuyo Letapa having a fractured leg, who could be out for a while. Suffered that injury, they lost to Kaizer Chiefs. Now it looks like they're going to lose another crucial player. Coupe is a mainstay in midfield for them. Set up the opening goal there with a defense splitting pass, the kind of pass that I think Pomozo would describe as a pass and pull up my window. Beautiful pass and a beautiful finish as well from Tepa Mokoena. So they're going to make a change now, an injury force change for Cedric Kaze. Standing by to come on is Karabo Tlaka, who is also, it will be a like-for-like change. He's a central midfielder. A youngster. Tlaka, 21 years old. It's rather unusual to see Tlongwe coming off the bench. He's usually a first-team regular and a regular in the starting lineup, but he's had to come off the bench for this one. He replaced Giovanni Felanda. That's it's the second time that Felanda has also been pulled off by William Muloto under circumstances where you would say he didn't do a whole lot wrong, but as I said, you want a fullback, a wing back in the form of Tlongwe, who will keep them busy. Staka comes on, confirming that Givmo Coupe will not be returning.
Hope he'll plug in quite well. Talking about a team that's currently leading, and you don't want to have a lapses in terms of the performance and the intensity that they've displayed so far.
it's ouch.
Step to the toes.
So it's a set piece opportunity here. Melusi Teleze on guard. Will be looking to pick up his first clean sheet here for Sekhukhune United. Hasn't been the best of starts. I mean, shipped 5 goals in his first 2 matches. He's gonna claim this one.
He's got to dominate that area. Look at his physique.
This is an opportunity. Yeah, he struggled at Pirates to displace Sipho Chain. So there's a chance here for him to show the quality that earned him a move to Pirates in the first place from TS Galaxy. Ramala, scorer of the second goal, set up by Bright Ndlovu. Keza Kabazela looking to get Ndlovu moving. Free kick will go against Bright Ndlovu. Physical there. Physical specimen is Ndlovu.
Look at the physique. Very imposing.
I'm not sure he did a whole lot wrong there. And I think that's why he was frustrated with the call. I mean, he was putting the defender under pressure. I don't really think he fouled him. So a bit of a soft call there. Ngoni tussling in midfield. The man who's just come on. That's why he's been brought on to try and stem the flow there in midfield. Ngoni replacing Kopamotse. As I said, the youngster was making his debut, but I think that was purely tactical. Kopamotse is an attacking player. So William Moloto deciding he needs to bring a bit of stability in midfield as Tlongwe with a disappointing ball in.
Some thinking that is happening with the coach, Moloto, asking himself questions in terms of the lineup and the response from the players.
That's a real tester for him.
Yeah, it is.
Well, against Stellies, they came from behind and equalized and then took the lead, only to be pegged back, and then took the lead again, and again they were not able to protect the lead. Eventually drawing that one 3-all. So yeah, that's now 5 goals they've conceded in 2 matches. And that is not something you associate with Polokwane City. Polokwane City had one of the meanest defenses in the Betway Premiership in the last 2 or 3 seasons under Puti Mohafe. That became a mark of a side, is that they didn't score many goals, but they also were so tight at the back that they didn't lose many games, and certainly not by many goals.
Yeah. That's how you build a team. The spine should be solid from the goalkeeping department, the defense, midfield as well, how you defend.
Maybe the communication is a struggle there with Nikani, who's been restored to the starting lineup. As I said, he made a cameo appearance recently, coming on for 2 minutes against Richards Bay in that opening game away from home. And that was after he hadn't started a match since April. The 11th of April was his last start. Before then was out for a very long time, Bulelani Nikani, with an injury.
There was a point then where they were such a strong pairing partners in terms of Nikani and Saki.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that centre-back pairing.
Only made 12 appearances last season. and that man you're referring to, Ngaki, was has been wearing a captain's armband in the absence of Nikani. Now they've swapped places in the lineup today, as Ngaki what am I saying? They've restored their partnership to centre backs, Ngaki and Nikani, but they're defending there for the goal, especially the second. Not left a lot to be desired, and as I said, very uncharacteristic of Polokwane City. Kambala to the edge of the box there, man underneath it was Matimbi. Comes to Nikani, too much on that one.
Seems to be rushing things. I mean, after conceding the 2 goals, seem to be rushing. There's no need for them to do that. They've got to build up some form of a rhythm, regain that confidence and believe that they can bounce back. It's not over yet. They're just trailing. So they're up against the team so far, looking good structurally.
Malebo Modise. Bambala. Pass is intercepted, not a good one at all. Ramala finds Mujela. Ramala again. Mujela's ball looking for Tepo Mokoena. Polokwane, or rather Sekhukhune United, as we approach halftime here, looking very comfortable.
Best way to defend your lead. Keep the ball, rotate it. The opponent can't bounce back when you own the ball and you're actually leading as well. Keep it in the right areas, force them to make mistakes. That's what has just happened now. Mokoena very influential in that midfield.
More defending to do here for Polokwane City from a set piece. And Ngoenya getting a baptism of fire in his debut match in the Betway Premiership. Yes, the scorer of goal number 2, Paramala. Shot from range. And Ngoenya at full stretch. And it's Mokoena there looking, or Taka rather, came off the bench, was looking. And I was struck that well. Oh, wasn't that far.
No, it wasn't. But what was going to make it even difficult for the keeper is that bounce.
Yeah.
Once the ball bounces in front of you, you've committed as a keeper. That could cause you problems. Willing to drop the tempo, but still owning possession. Sekhukhune in the opponent's half, or Polokwane's half.
That's Mashilwan. Mokoena has 5 minutes to go to the break. Just an update on Givmo Cooper. It was indeed a dislocated shoulder, but we hear that they popped it back into its socket. But of course, he can't go back on. It can be very painful, a dislocated shoulder. So not sure how long that would keep him out, but we certainly won't see him now. So unfortunate for Polokwane, for Sekhukhune United. 2 matches in succession now where they're losing key players. They lost to Voyo Letapa here to a leg fracture in the game against Chiefs. Kambala says that there was a headbutt on him. Physical battle there with Brighton Clovo. Have a look at what happens here. There goes Ndlovu tumbling away.
But then we don't see the headbutt that he's talking about.
He's very animated and upset about it. Is Kambala, the Mozambican.
The real grafter in the midfield, Kambala.
Mozambican international. Very experienced player. His play continues here with the free kick for Sekhukhune. Leading by 2-0. 2 goals that came within the first 20 minutes of the game. The earliest goals in this fixture. And continuing a tradition of this fixture of goals coming in the first half. 4 of the 5 goals previously scored in this fixture. Kambala's frustration is getting the better of him. He's going to become the first player. The first player into the book.
My advice to your player, when you get into this kind of situation,
it's a bad challenge.
You don't need, and there was no danger there. If you look at, there is no danger for him to commit such a tackle.
I think it's
himself and the team under pressure because he's sitting now on a yellow.
I think it's frustration.
Yeah.
Frustration getting the better of him. Need to maintain discipline. The last thing they would want is to end up going down to 10 men. They're already up against it as it is. Free kick. A foul on Mokoena. Could be something on here again for Sekhukhune United. And Polokwane City do eventually manage to clear their lines. Kaki was getting stuck in. Garawataka. Good run and a chance! Oh! Keeper was rooted to the ground. If that were on target, I think that was a goal. Great run from that left-hand side by Taka.
Talk about a defense that was completely switched off. That's a free header. You look at the forest of players there. No one is challenging. No one is even trying to cut out the cross. Completely switched off. Big let off.
That defense is all at sea. Look at this, unmarked.
From the cross.
He could even have controlled that ball.
Yes, you're right.
Very poor from Polokwane City. That's Daniels who's muscled off the ball with some ease. Here is Mokoena. Ndlovu almost sneaking it through to Mashilwane. Comes to Mokoena. Mashilwane. Mkhize. And on the overlap there, it's Kazim. As you heard, we're going to have a minimum of 2 minutes at the end of the first half. That halftime whistle can't come soon enough for Polokwane City. They need to go and regroup, and the coach needs to have some words here. The referee had spotted something there before the ball was played out to Tlongwe. Polokwane again. No wonder he's getting frustrated there, Gambala.
He's been put under pressure. Normally the main man in that midfield playing defensive midfield, but then again, he's got to be the creative spark for the team.
That's gonna, Mashulane will let that run out for a goal kick. Into the second minute now of stoppage time, minimum 2 minutes, and it was indicated by referee Siyabonga Nkomo. Mapangule winning the header. Nice touch there from Ndlovu, who was clipped for his troubles, and a free kick for the foul. Sekhukhune came on as a sub.
It's not happening. They've been very reactive to situations as opposed to trying to control and build up some rhythm.
Yeah. Thought that was his ball there. D'Angelo Kazim, formerly with Tugs, and then went to the Venda Academy. Was at some point on the books of Free State Stars, was Kazim.
You know who normally watches programs, right? Right, Sekhukhune. When you talk about Free State Stars.
Oh, yeah.
He still has the appetite to watch football game.
I'm sure though he treasures his sanity more, and the stress levels are, I'm sure, well under control as he's staying as far away from football as possible. As referee Mr. Siyabonga Nkomo blows the whistle to end what's been a dominant, total dominance from Sekhukhune United. 2 quick goals and excellently taken goals by Tsepo Mokoena, and this man Mporamala has Babina Nuko in charge and in control. Polokwane City made a double change in a bid to try and put out the fire and stem the tide here, but they're going to need a lot more if they're going to get it back into this game. Then in Popotami at the moment, going the way of Sekhukhune United. It is Sekhukhune United 2, Polokwane City 0. We welcome you back to the Sekhukhune Stadium for the second half of this Limpopo derby. Sekhukhune United in charge, in control, and in the lead in this one, leading by 2 goals. And if you've just joined us, this is one of our goal scorers. Mparamala got the second of 2 goals after this man had opened the scoring early on. Well, as we prepare for the second half, we've already had changes on both sides. Sekhukhune having been forced into an injury, forced change by with the injury to Gibbo Cooper, who dislocated his shoulder. And that man, Tongwe, was one of the changes made halfway through the first half by William Lotto as he tried to, as I said, put out the fire. Tongwe, by the way, last season made 25 appearances and only once came off the bench. So it's a rarity to see him come off the bench. So we're going to have more changes by the looks of things. It looks as if it's Abraham Mashele is the player who is going to come on. I'm going to get Brian Mate's thoughts on the changes. Right now, Mashele is the latest to be introduced. That makes it 3 changes for William Lotto. As as the referee gets us underway. Referee this evening is Siabonga Nkomo. And no further changes made by Sekhukhune United. So Mashele is a player introduced by Polokwane City at the start of this second half. And the player replaced by Mashele is Surprise Mantosi, who operates down the right-hand side there. Was playing as a right full-back. And as early on a caution here for Ndlovu, right at the start of the second half. Second yellow of the game, hand in the face of Abraham Mashele, who's just come on. And yeah, the change there, Brian Mateo bringing on Mashele. What do you make of that swap made by William Lotto? His 3rd change already. What's the signal is a frustration for Ndlovu there. He thought he could have done better, made more of that one.
He knows it. Definitely should have done better. 1-on-1 situation, hesitation from defenders, the goalkeeper. The intentions were clear, but it's the execution that let him down. And he knows in these early stages of the game that's what he should have done. And if I'm Coach Blot, I should be worried in terms of defense.
Yes, it's been
that early stages of the second half. You've made changes to try and influence the game going forward. And then there is lapses of concentration at the back, and you almost got punished.
So yeah, the change at right back is an interesting one. A straight swap with Mashele. The right back signed up from Chippa United. It's the man who replaced Mantosi. There's now 3 players in this Polokwane City squad from Chippa United. As Butelezi gets 2 hands on that one, but that doesn't hold on to it, but manages to get it away. As City started looking a little bit more lively at the start of the second half here. Really, it can only be an improvement from that first half performance. So poor were they in that first half. They really were overwhelmed and outclassed by Sekhukhune. Ball into the area, Teleze will claim it.
Now the biggest task for Sekhukhune is to defend their lead, and it's also in the half part. If they sit too deep in their own half, they'll be inviting trouble. They've got to be calculative in terms of how they contain Polokwane City. We've seen them making some changes. The intention, of course, is to put more pressure, have shots on target. And That's going to be critical.
As Polokwane City being pinned back. Searching ball now, looking to release Raymond Daniels. Raymond Daniels, who would have come into this one confident mood after scoring his first goal of the season. In fact, his first goal in a long while for Raymond Daniels. Rewarded for that contribution with a place in the starting lineup this evening. It was his first goal actually since the 2024-25 season, his first season with Polokwane City when he signed up from Hungry Lions. So it had been a long time for him without a goal. 17 appearances last season without a goal. Oof, that was a poor clearance from Teles. He gets away with it. And as things stand, Sekhukhune United would move from 5th up to 3rd in the standings. That's temporarily with, well, at least for 24 hours with Orlando Pirates in action tomorrow. Pirates can go, if they can get the full haul of points, the Pirates can go as high as 2nd spot. And Amazulu sitting 2nd after their win earlier today, beating Suwelele by 2-0. Tricky start to the season here for Suwelele. It's back-to-back defeats for them. In fact, they're on 3 matches now without a win in the Betway Premiership for Suwelele. 2 losses and 1 draw.
Pressure is mounting on the coach.
And Hlonolo Siema.
Hlonolo Siema.
Next up before Sekhukhune, back-to-back matches against Orlando Pirates. We face them in the Betway Premiership in the next match, and then after that they face each other in the MTN 8 semi-final first leg. That match against Pirates in the Betway Premiership will be on the 25th, so it actually will be the MTN 8 match first. There is the coach of Polokwane City looking a rather concerned man, as he should be. William Loto Bayano, we'll call him. And his side have not been at the races as a ball whipped in here. It's going to be another corner. No, goal kick. Ndlovu, the man attacking it.
Physical presence, and if not guided or paid attention to, could cause them problems. They need to be much more in control and play fluid and quick football, Polokwane City. So far, I don't think they were settled themselves quite well in this game.
Yeah. Reminder that in the 2 matches last season, Sekhukhune took, or Polokwane City took 4 points off Sekhukhune. The corresponding match ended 0-0. And then with the Polokwane City winning their home match, courtesy of Mukibelo Ramabu's goal. Ramabu on the bench for Sekhukhune United this evening, having made but not on the bench, Ramabu, this evening. He came off the bench against Chiefs, but has been left out of the squad today. Cedric, oh, chance here, Mujana! Complete miscue there. He rushed that one. He had a lot more time than he realized, I think. Chance for a third for Sekhukhune. That would really surely have put the game to bed. And look at this. Mistake. He hits that into the ground. Miscue.
Wow, it's comedy of errors. Once the ball gets into the box, not convincing him to clearing it on that near post, and it goes on to the far side, still not convincing. Big let off, but the pressure is still on.
Sekhukhune are unbeaten in 3 home matches against Polokwane City. In fact, in the 3 matches that they've hosted Polokwane City, shot here from Mukwena, Tsepo Mukwena. Polokwane City have yet to score away to Sekhukhune United.
Well, in this second half, they are yet to defend well, because so far it's not working. Watch this.
Nice little gloves.
Again, there's no pressure at all.
Flicked on there by Ndlovu.
Anything that time?
They are really, there's been a lack of intensity about the marking here. Disorganized as well. As I said, it's an unrecognizable Polokwane City defense this evening. We are not used to seeing them being this slack defensively. It seems as if they've flipped things around. Polokwane City didn't score many goals last season, but what they did do was defend incredibly well.
Well, there's 2 players who were the reason for that strong defensive qualities that you're talking about. At some point there was Nkaki and Nikane's partnership, which was very solid in the team. And,
conceded 21 goals, only 21 goals last season, which was as many goals as Mamelodi Sundowns conceded, and Sundowns 22nd. So this is not a team that chips many goals. They only scored 21, by the way. One of the lowest scorers in the league. They were joint lowest scorers with Orbit College and Marumo Gallants last season for Polokwane City. And they seem to have remedied their goal-scoring woes. Said in the Betway Premiership have racked up 5 goals in the 2 matches thus far. But they've also been conceding. They've conceded 4 goals in those 2 matches to go with the 5 that they've scored. Polokwane are going to make yet another change. I want to tell you in a moment who is coming. We are hearing it will be Bonginkosi Dlamini, another player who doesn't usually come off the bench. He's a regular starter. Had a very good game against Sundowns in the cup. And he's about to come on, Bonginkosi Dlamini. And Daniels, who's been largely anonymous tonight, is going to make way. So disappointing that he couldn't take advantage of the opportunity he was given in the starting lineup. But to be fair to him, he was only effective as he was allowed to be, because he didn't get much supply.
They haven't created that many chances. At the same time, they haven't built up a good rhythm about themselves in terms of their style.
Free kick given against Goni. Bad challenge.
Yeah, that's a team that's beginning to panic.
So here comes a change then. Bonginkosi Dlamini will come on then to replace Raymond Daniels. As I said, disappointing night for Daniels. Can't say that you can probably say that about most players in that Polokwane City lineup tonight.
Yeah, they haven't showed up. I think you're seeing just individuals as opposed to a team that has got cohesion. Of course, they conceded goals, but somehow you've got to start owning the ball, creating chances, varying your play. It's going to be interesting to see what the coach's conversation was at halftime based on the performance in the second half, particularly the shots on target.
There we go then, we know what it means. If you make an effort, Sponise, your best, put your best foot forward. The Red Devil there, he walks away with 30,000 rand. Nico Matebula has been gifted 30,000 rand by the good people at Betway. Now, Polokwane City, can they get back into this game? Oh, it's a dive. And the referee wasn't falling for that one. Here comes Ndlovu at the other end, Brighton Ndlovu. Throw-in will go to Polokwane City. Dlamini has come on, of course, was among the scorers against in the MTN 8 quarterfinal against Mamelodi Sundowns, along with Tilimalo Polokwane. But he's yet to open his account in the Betway Premiership. Missed the opening match of the season against Richards Bay, and then was restored to the squad in the draw against Polokwane City, rather against Stellenbosch. A 6-goal draw there. Mashilwane solid as a rock. Such an impressive player.
But you also look at his physique, you'll think he's not so strong, but he's such a crafter, but also
he's
fluid in terms of his football.
He's very tall for a fullback, as I was saying, and but he's such an elegant footballer and loves to get forward. Provides an outlet down the right-hand side going forward. But he's actually equally adept in his primary role as a defender. Very solid. think he was unfortunate not to have made his mark at Orlando Pirates. It was tough competition though. And there's a squad like Pirates.
Got to earn your stripes to be part of that team, like you say, the depth in terms of talent.
By the way, we have 2 more matches to come tonight in the Betway Premiership. Durban City up against Richards Bay in the KZN Derby, so another derby there. We'll see the coaching staff there, Paulus Masehe and Papi Zotwane flanking Cedric Kaze. And then Milford FC take on Kruger United in the Battle of the Rookies. Milford looking to pick up their 2nd win in the Betway Premiership in that one. They're playing at home. So far we have, today's matches, we've had 2 wins for the home side, well, 1 win for the home side. Chiefs were looking well on their way to win against Sundowns, and then I think what will go down is another goalkeeping blunder by Brandon Peterson, completely misjudging a flight of a ball and allowing Mailula, one of the shortest men on the field, to score with a header. That's man who's been so lively up front. That's Pomkwena for Sekhukhune. As Ndlovu goes down, referee allows play to carry on. Nguni miscontrols the ball. Kiza works it wide. And then, bad. That's poor from Mkwena. I was just showering him with praise, but it was a rather tired-looking cross. Still 24 minutes to play in this game. Now we're talking about who they are missing as well. Polokwane City, of course, a very notable absence in this side. We saw them make a change at full back, where they brought on Abraham Mashele to replace Matonzi. They are missing Tabang Matuludi. He's a huge miss for them. Defensively solid, and of course another one who loves to attack. This is the man who's been deployed at right back. Drifting inside there is Abraham Mashele. Who was one of the new signings from Chippa, making his first appearance for Polokwane City. As, well, hasn't been a great return to the starting lineup for Nikani. They're trying to keep tabs on Ndlovu. No mean feat that. Ndlovu is a handful, literally, as you can see. There's he trying to wrestle him.
Physically, he's very imposing. Good control of the ball, difficult to dispossess him.
Oof. Keeper was nowhere there, and all that see there was, and referee intervenes and comes to the rescue. But Ngwenya was caught in no man's land here. Have a look at this.
You know, look at that. The mark of a team that wants to bounce back needs to start by defending well. That you restore confidence in, you know, how you defend, and the midfielders gain confidence as well. The attack force, but so far we're very porous at the back, not convincing at all in terms of organization, the experience of the players that I mentioned. Nikani, Nkaki, that's a heavy, you know, experienced players, but not convincing at all.
It's been a very messy performance at the back. As you see that the miscued cross from Mashele. Making his debut. Only made 2 appearances off the bench for Chippa last season. Coming off the bench here to make his Chippa United, his Polokwane City debut. Bojela. He's seen a teammate who's down, so he's put the ball into touch. Ramala, scorer of the second goal, is first in the Betway Premiership, his second of the season in all competitions. I'm sure he'll be very pleased with his team's response here. Saying he's managing his squad as well. 3 matches in 6 days. It's because also of their involvement in the cup. And as I said, next up is that semi-final against Orlando Pirates.
I mean, look at this goal. That passing, the timing, execution. When you look at the number of defenders that
a
were
lot
there,
of spectators.
a lot of spectators.
Ramala is going to limp off here. It doesn't look too serious though, just maybe a bit of a dead leg or something. But is that going to be the end of his night? Because it looks as if Sekhukhune are going to make a change. Standing by to come on is Sydney Maliva. Ramala still on the sideline. They're looking like he wants to come back on. And Maliba was looking ready to come on, has taken his place back on the bench. Good running for Dlamini, showing good commitment there, chasing that one down. Couldn't keep it in play.
If there's to be a team that lift their game and become precise in terms of what they're doing, it has to be Polokwane City. Of course, there's a responsibility on the leaders themselves in Sekhukhune to defend their lead, but so far I don't think they've been threatened at all.
I know it's been very comfortable from a defensive point of view for Sekhukhune United. It's been a solid and dominant display by the men in green. Showing great bounce back ability here. You know, bouncing back from a disappointing loss away to Kaizer Chiefs.
They needed to do that. That would have been the talk in that locker room with the players, the coach, to try and say this is the moment for you to bounce back. Unfortunately, they not to do that so far in the lead.
Just over a quarter of an hour remaining in this game. As a man handles the ball on the ground, just sums up the way the night, deliberate handball, just really sums up the night that Polokwane City are having. Deliberate handball, and Mashele gets a booking.
Just in case someone wonders, why do we say that? That's so clear. He knew he was beating Mashele. No chance at all.
That is the third caution of the game. That's a second yellow card of the game. It's a third card now. And one going to Mahesh. So Sekhukhune look like they are going to make that change in midfield. Standing by is Maliba, Sydney Maliba. Meantime, Sekhukhune looking to attack. We keeper's ball.
So the question would be, who's dropped the tempo? If you look at Sekhukhune, for them to play at this tempo, it suits them better because they're defending their lead. You'd expect that, Polokwane City is playing with high intensity. Tries to put the defense of Cardoso under pressure. So far, it hasn't been the case.
Just looking at the numbers here, possession-wise, Polokwane City, or Sekhukhune have had 8 shots on goal to the only 2 for Polokwane. Polokwane City, we are already in the 75th minute, are we? 76th minute, and Polokwane City have yet to have a shot on target. That looked like a bad challenge, and I think a yellow card has gone to Rammala. Oh my word, that is bad from Rammala. That's naughty.
Very naughty. Dangerous.
No. Clumsy stuff there from Rammala, and he knows that he was guilty there. So he becomes the latest player then into the cookbook, joins Brighton Clove as the 2 players in the Polokwane on the Sekhukhune side to be booked. Meantime, the referees will probably allow the change to happen as well. Rammala, very bad there, turns his back on the player as he challenges for the ball. William Miller thought this has been a forgettable night for his side, and a little shake of a head there. Man who was with the Tucks last season.
Conversation should be going on. Hope that injury is not too serious.
That's not good news.
It doesn't look good.
This is a man who's just coming back, making his way back into the side from long-term injury. It's never a good sign when he goes off on a stretcher.
Yeah.
Never a good sign. Usually you want the player to walk off. You would expect. I think he stood on his toes. So it doesn't look that bad. He stood on his toes as a Rammala. That's his last contribution of the game then. And Maliba is the player who's going to come on. Sydney Maliba, his first appearance of the season. Maliba is a defensive midfielder, made only 4 appearances last season, having been signed from Baroka. Polokwane are going to make their last change, their final change as well. And it's Mpomo Bundlela, who's also making his way back from a long-term injury. But is that because I guess that means that Nikani is not coming back. So they're going to bring on a centre back. Mfundlela, who last appearance was back in May against Sundowns. in a 3-0 loss away from home. Miscue there, but hey, it almost snuck in.
It's
from
promising.
Kungwe.
Yeah, it's promising. More of that from Ukwe.
So there's a Nikani. Yeah, no. Is he looking? It looks like the ankle. I thought he stood on his. I thought
I think it's
Ramala stood on his toes.
No, it's the ankle.
It's the ankle that looks like it's swelling up as well.
Fast for that matter.
Yeah, well, as soon as the boot goes off as well, that's what will happen. So that's why you've had that change then. More just adding insult to injury, or injury to insult, really, for the home side here. Ulilani Nikani now going off with an injury, the captain. Paul Vundlela, centre back, who's coming to replace him, making, as I said, his first appearance since May. Comes off Kungwe.
I think the team under pressure should be Polokwane City. If you are Sekhukhune, so far so good in terms of structure and breaking up the rhythm that Polokwane City are trying to build up. Having gained control of this game in the second half, having strung a few good passes.
6 matches between these two sides in the past. They've only been 2 winners. Only twice have they been a winner and 1 win apiece. So Sekhukhune are on their way to only their 2nd win over Polokwane City. And once again, Polokwane City, like they are going to fire blanks. Could be a chance here. A miscue. It was an attempted shot there from a great save from Telezi. I was set to deny Mapangule. Telezi did it to him and hurt himself in the process of trying to make this save. That was Polokwane initially with a shot and then a miscued shot which became a pass. That actually came off the upright.
Bailed out. If it was on target,
yeah,
could have been a goal. And a little bit in.
So Telez's first clean sheet of the season potentially stays intact. Kungwe trying to get around. Oh, that's excellent defending from Kazim. Excellent defending. Sekhukhune are preparing their another change. And just to take some seconds off the clock, or some minutes, few seconds off the clock. They're going to make what should be only their 3rd change of the game for Sekhukhune. Well, they haven't really needed to shake things up. They've been so comfortable out there.
The difference, though, in terms of their performance, Sekhukhune, in the second half, is that they haven't been swift in terms of bringing good passes. It's more defending, trying to get the ball in the opponent's half, which is good because that's how you defend. But at the same time, you're giving away possession so cheaply.
Ngwenya gathers this one. We hear the player will be coming on is Thabo Nkwana. Thabo Nkwana, who is one of the new acquisitions for Polokwane City, or rather for Sekhukhune, who signed from Tax. is going to be replacing. We hear Mojela. Quiet second half from Mojela.
Very quiet. I think now they're trying to regain that possession, ownership of the game in terms of keeping possession longer, rotating it. More like it. They're in control of the game.
You could start talking about managing the game, but it hasn't even been a game they've needed to manage because they've been so in control of it. Sekhukhune, Cardoso, can even count the number of times I've mentioned his name.
Hasn't been threatened.
Yeah. Referee is going to allow the change. Referee is going to allow the change. Making his Sekhukhune United debut. Winger plays on the wide on the right hand side. Side from Tax Tabongwana. And another one making his first appearance for the side. Or making a debut this afternoon, not necessarily before Sekhukhune. Now, there he is going on a run there. The man who says, come on, and is brought down by Mkoni, who's been begging for the yellow card since he came on as a sub. And finally, the referee obliges.
Well, it's beaten for pace. He knew there was no way. Once that ball is put there, there was no way he could catch it. But is that illegal means, and then that got him into referee's books, putting the team under pressure.
The lanking Kwana is showing a clean pair of heels there. He's got quite a stride on him.
I would say so far so good for Sekhukhune. They're keeping the ball in the opponent's half. That's the best way to defend. As long as that doesn't get into your own half, you could make errors in the opponent's half. You can quickly regroup and press again and win it back.
That Tabongwana, by the way, was with Kruger United 2 seasons back. Ngwenya sends it long, skids off the top of Tabongwana's head. Landing this one up as Abraham Mashele put a long bomb into the box there.
Hoping for a corner, it's not to be.
Don't forget another derby coming your way tonight. Durban City against the Richards Bay, KZN derby. The Limpopo derby here in its closing throes. When it's, I think it's safe to say, bragging rights will go the way of Sekhukhune United. Barring a miracle of biblical proportions. And we are just here to wrap it up. Mbona with a chance for a goal on debut. May makes a mess of it.
He knows it.
Yeah.
Again, you look at defending, not convincing at all. Big let off. Massive let off. Disjointed at the back.
This will be only the second time that a team has scored more than 2 goals in a match. The last time was in the 2024-25 season, in 2025 when Sekhukhune beat Polokwane City by the same score line in a home fixture. But in, other than that, it's been 1-0 wins and 1-0 draws. It's not been a high-scoring fixture, this one. Only, as I mentioned, 5 goals that have been scored in this fixture in the past. Telezi looking like he's on his way to a first clean sheet in the colors of Sekhukhune in his 3rd match for his new club.
Hasn't been tested at all.
Nah, very easy and a type of game the goalkeepers like. It's a very quiet night at the office for Melusi Telezi. Just looking at the stats, still it looks like Polokwane City are going to get to the end of this game without a shot on target.
I don't think that's a standard one to hear, to say that we played for so long without a shot on target. Something must have gone wrong.
So this is it's a serious indictment. You defended poorly and you were totally blunt in attack.
Completely. Well, let's hope they might do something.
There's still time.
Yeah.
We're into stoppage time now, minimum 4. This is Modisha's ball in. It's just to correct that stat, it's actually 1 attempt on target. 4 attempts at goal for Polokwane City, only 1 on target. And we are into the 92nd minute. Sekhukhune have had 11 attempts at goal, 4 on target, and 2 goals. So a dominant display from Babina Nongo.
I think the coach, Nancy, will be very happy. Say they got the goals, they defended well.
I'm not sure if that counts as an attempt on target. That's the routine catch for Melusi Telezi. Offside against Polokwane. Oh, tough night. He's hardly been a factor as well. Player who's been so lively early on in the season. Was playing in the ABC Botsipa League last season and has already got 2 goals in his first 3 matches for his club side. Formerly with Army Rockets. The ABC Botsipa League. Telezi puts it upfield. This has been a forgettable night for Polokwane City. They must regroup and prepare themselves for their next outing, which will be against Milford FC on the 26th. It's not next week, but the week after, because we're going into cup games in the week coming. So they'll be away to, will be at home to Milford, Polokwane City.
Pressure on the coach, Tate Willie Mulon. Too early, just taking over, but I guess because of coach Puti's success in the club, that puts you under pressure. They might not have won a trophy, but they played decent, and they've also formed part of the top 8 a lot of times.
Sekhukhune last season won 5 matches at home, drew 7, or rather, yeah, drew drew 7 and lost 3. Well, for Sekhukhune, their away record last season didn't make for happy reading as well. Tended to struggle on the road, did Polokwane City. 5 wins and 5 losses and 5 draws. Corner then, maybe last attack of the game. Time is up according to our clock. We are just into the last seconds of stoppage time at the end of the 90 here, and that is it. Final whistle then.